look very nice, is it? Hello, guys. Right, we are live. So I've had multiple approaches over my of doing business, but I wanted to give some kind of I wanted to give some advice for people because I've had multiple approaches recently that are just getting it wrong. And I want to talk about the ones that get it right. Because it's so crucial in the business that I do. You know, I work on a kind of business development kind of business, which is, you know, connecting the right players. And if stuff is not properly qualified, then it's really difficult for me to kind of move things forward. If people are not direct up front, then it's very difficult for me to kind of get things going. So I really want to save everyone here years of wasted time, because time wasting is when you have an opportunity, time I think is the most important commodity. So I think most people have no idea how to approach people with an opportunity. I think most people, let me reiterate that, let me reinforce that. Most people do not know how to approach with an opportunity. When you approach someone with an opportunity, it has to be as qualified as possible. It's not always possible to get as qualified as you would like. Like, companies don't always give you their budget, which is a bit annoying. But I get pitched and given stuff daily, hour by people, and there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. And the right way to do it is the way that I'm going to show you guys and show you how to not waste other people's time and not waste your own time. Your own time, selfishly speaking, is the most important thing. So I get ideas for, hey, I'm looking for a distributor in China. I'm looking to grow my business in China. I'm looking to grow my business in Southeast Asia. But I also see that you do this, Daniel. So I see that you work with lots of international companies going into China, going into Southeast Asia. I see that you are working with companies, Chinese companies looking to go overseas. So really what I want to focus on with you guys is, because I get all these so-called amazing ideas, but that is something that I'm pretty good at. I'm good at connecting the dots with people. I'm able to see, right, this person is looking for this thing, or this person has pain and I have a solution, problem eliminator, problem solver to what they're doing. And I'd say dies in the first message. 90% is not there in the first message. So a lot of people approach me. The first thing, the worst way to approach me is just saying, hello, Daniel. I've had a lot of that recently. They just say, hi, Daniel, and that's it. Hi, Daniel, and then just nothing afterwards. And, you know, these are trying to be professional people that are trying to grow their businesses, but they just don't have that kind of EQ. I would argue IQ in some instances. I think sometimes it's desperation, like they want to get something going, but you need to be very methodical in the way you go about it. So I'll give you guys some examples. Today, I had someone approach me that they sell property in China. They sell property, but they just said, you know, foreigners, you know, international companies, connect me, commission. That was kind of their pitch to me, which is a horrible pitch. Oh, if you know someone, connect me. That doesn't really work, right? You want stuff that is qualified, right? But it's got to be bi-directional. It's got to go both ways. So if someone approaches me on something, I want to make sure, you know, they're looking for this. I want to make sure that I can deliver for them as well. But if they're not going to deliver for me as well, then it's not a very good relationship. So I find I've had that today. I've had someone approach me about a video deal today. Hey, can you be in a video? It's 4 hours. Can you do it? I was like, well, again, no brief, no background. Actually, I'm going to share it with these people, so hopefully they can see this. So, and again, it's not to call anyone out, and I'm not naming names here. I just think this is really invaluable advice for anyone looking. If you have an opportunity, you have a deal or something, and you wanted to present it to someone, and then they're able to deliver on that thing, then it's got to be as qualified as possible. So I'm going to go through kind of the brutal truth, which is most people, when they give a referral, they just say, "Hey, I know a guy or I know a lady. Here you go." And it's like that's not a good way to refer business on. You've got to think in your head, how qualified is this? So most people, I mean, here's the problem: most people think that enthusiasm equals value, and it doesn't. You sending me a message saying, "Hey, Daniel, I am a manufacturer in China, or I'm a manufacturer in Europe, or whatever it is. I have something amazing for you. Can we have a call?" That's why. Like, there's no context, no background. What's the requirements? What's the pain? What's the KPIs? So, and that tells me one thing about you. It tells me that you haven't thought about what you're sending to me. You don't really respect people's time, because it's like, you think, and opportunities are valued on clarity. They're valued on commercial logic, risk, return, execution, not vibes, right? They're focused on, I have an opportunity. So I'm an international company. I'm looking at China, or I know someone who is looking at China. Okay, that's great. But how qualified are they? Or I have a Chinese company, they're looking to go abroad. Or I have a company, they want to do videos with you, Daniel. Okay, well, give me a brief, right? So that's my first bit of advice. The easiest win is always just have a brief for someone. And you can use AI nowadays. Just speak to DeepSeek or ChatGPT. Just speak into your phone and say, "Hey, I'm looking for this." Like, it can write it for you. And that was one of the feedbacks I had today from someone, which was, I'm not going to name names, but the person said, "Oh, it takes me too long to get requirements." So, well, but they actually told me the requirements in the whole messaging. So they knew the requirements from the start, but they told me the requirements throughout the messaging, when they could have just given me a nice, not voice message, but a nice brief in the beginning. So communication is so key when you're referring on or presenting opportunities. And just to be clear, guys, because I still get people a bit confused about what I do. So most of my business is helping international companies, B2B, in China. So that's not helping Chinese companies in China. Chinese companies they're already set. Well, I would argue some Chinese companies still need help, but international companies that are coming into China, or they're already in China, they've been here for a year, decades, and they're looking to do business and grow their Chinese business. How they do that: marketing, PR, expos. Okay, so that's what I really focus on. That's a big part of my business. A smaller part of my business is on now getting inquiries about Southeast Asia. So that's another part of the business I do. And then literally less than 5% is my social media channel. It's I get some brand deals coming in, and like this company today. But you've got to be, it's very clear what my positioning is right now. I'm very clear to you guys what I am. What do I do? Okay. And I've talked about this multiple live streams. I've done pretty much a live stream every day since January. Just go back and watch them. There's hundreds of hours of content now. So mistake one, let's talk about some of the mistakes. So the mistakes are, there's no context, right? So you don't explain what you're looking for. What's your pain? What's your requirements? That's the first thing. Second mistake is no positioning. So why me? Why not someone else? Why now? Ask those why questions. Exactly. So the main point of this is you've got to be straight with people. It's not rude. I think a lot of people think if you're straight with someone, if you're direct, it's not rude. It's just get the information up front. If you know it, or find it out. It's not hard to ask a question. As my father always said, if you don't ask, then you don't get. If you don't ask the question, then you won't know. No numbers. So no revenue model, no margins, no budget, no commercial structure. All of those kind of things ideally need to be on the table. I know some companies don't always know their budget, which I think is nonsense. I think most companies do know their budget. They just want to get the price from you first. And this is another mistake that I see is companies say, or people ask me, what's your price? Well, how long is a piece of string? What's your requirements? What's your pain? What are you looking to do? What's your time frame? Are you looking to move this week or in 3 months? Because the price may change, you know. So I would say it's better to be upfront with your budget. Number 4 mistake I see is hidden expectations. So you want introductions, you want a brand, you want a network, you want credibility, but you don't say it clearly. Tell me exactly what you're looking for and how you can help me, because I can help most people. I have a pretty good network in China and around the world, and I always have someone in my head that I can properly connect you with. Mistake 5 is lose. I have everything to lose, right? And that's not a partnership. That's kind of fishing. So pause. Think about this. You know, understand something. When you approach someone that is established or establishing themselves, then you are competing with every other opportunity in their inbox. So every day I'm getting multiple messages through emails, WeChat, you know, and you want to think that you're the most important person, but probably you're not. The most important people that I'm doing business with are upfront with their requirements, their budget, their pain. They're looking to move within the next few weeks. You know, they're not speaking about Q3 or Q4 of 2026. They're looking to move now. And someone I was speaking to today made this this comment that trust takes a long time to build. Fair enough, but my face is all over social media. I've got plenty of case studies to back up what I do. I'm all over. I do content every day. I've got the data, I've got the numbers. So, and I'm not afraid to show my face. Most people do post or stuff online, but they're not doing the content that I'm doing, put myself out there. So you need to earn that attention. You need to be very upfront with people when you approach them. So let's talk about a proper framework, right? What I've written here, I've written a nice little script for you guys. So it's a 5-step framework. But really, the easiest way for you guys to build, if you have an opportunity, let's say an opportunity comes your way, or you think, oh, I can connect someone with Daniel, or I need help from Daniel for something, but I also want to help him at the same time. So it's got to be symbiotic. It's got to be bi-directional. Most of my great referral partners it's I help them, they help me, or they help me, deal gets over the line very quickly and I pay the commission as soon as the money comes in, vice versa. So it's quick. It's not, you know, we're speaking for years and years, you know, because I'm a hunter, I'm a chaser, I get things going. But really the easiest way for you guys is just send a brief. And when I talk about a brief is a one-page document that says who you are, what you're doing, what's your pain, what's your requirements, KPIs, budget, what does success look like in the next 12 months? Am I up against other competitors? Am I pitching against other agencies? What do you currently have in place? If you're an international company looking at China, do you already have a Chinese sales team? Do you have a marketing team? If you've got a Chinese marketing team, you're probably not my client. But what do you have in place? What do you have that is, you know, give me as much background as possible. The more background information you give me, the more clarity there is, the more clear it is. So I'm going to break down with a 5-step framework. And as I mentioned, a lot of people say, well, it's so much work. It's not with AI nowadays. You can just literally speak into your phone and say, hey, write me a brief. This is my requirements. This is my pain. It will do it for you in seconds. So you don't have to type stuff out anymore. You just speak to your AI. So the framework that I've written down, which I think this is the kind of stuff I do, but is step 1 is 1-sentence clarity. So what is the opportunity? Hi, Daniel, I have an opportunity. Well, introduce yourself. Hi, Daniel. I am. Let's talk the other way if I was speaking to you. Hi, sir or madam. I'll call you sir or madam because there's men and women in this live stream. I'm Daniel. I'm British. I'm a China hand and a China connector. I mainly help B2B international companies in China with their marketing, PR, exposed. So very clear what I do. I also do other stuff, but that's the main thrust of my business. And a nice one sentence. So I'm going to flip this a little bit. If it was an international company that was entering China, let's say it's a B2B life sciences or healthcare company that's entering China, I would say we are launching our China business B2B and we're exhibiting at an expo. Can you help us? Very simple. Yes or no, right? So it's quite clear, we're launching our China business. Oh, and you could say we have one salesperson on the ground. It's not quite converting. And most importantly, we want to grow our China business. We have a marketing budget. That would be the ultimate thing. If someone came to me with requirement, B2B, life sciences, we've got budget. We want to move quickly. Step 2, why me? So something that's not generic, make it specific. Specificity is the most important, if that's even one. Make it as specific as possible, key details. So actually, when I work with companies, I usually get them to give me a brief or fill out like a very quick, a questionnaire or something on what they're looking for, because it's a good indicator to me. If you fill out more information, is how serious you are as a business, or how serious. If you give me a nice one-page document with exactly what you're looking for, that shows me you're serious. If you just message me on WeChat or message me for email saying, hey, we're looking for this. Can you see the difference? Like a one sentence, hi. The difference between if you approach me to do a video and said, Daniel, we're looking for a foreigner for 4 hours to make a video, or you send me a nice document that you made through AI and it says, right, the shooting day, how long it's going to take, your budget, we edit the video or you edit the video, where it is in Shanghai. Can you see the difference? And that takes seconds. It actually takes less time, I think, to do a brief than you sending voice messages and typing. It makes no sense. So be upfront, direct, diligent, but in a polite and positive way. So what does success look like? Are you looking at revenue, equity, timeframes? Are we looking at, you're looking to move in 30 days, 90 days, Q3? Hopefully it's not Q3. We're looking to move in a year. If it's in a year's time, you're probably wasting my time. We should be moving as quickly as possible. But if we're looking to get something going in the next few weeks or next month or two, brilliant. Requirements. I think I've said this already, but people get very lost on just telling me what they want. Like, tell me exactly what you need. And if you don't know exactly what you need, then maybe you're not as serious. But are you looking for introductions? Are you looking for a promotion? Are you looking for advisory, consultancy, an agency? Are you looking for an expo partner? On the ground delivery. Be very explicit what you're looking for when you approach me, because I get messages all day long through my WeChat, through my email, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, with people asking me for stuff, but they're not clear. And this whole busy excuse that I keep hearing from people, I'm busy, you're not busy. No one is busy to do this. It takes seconds with AI now. That you can't really have that busy excuse anymore. My other point about being busy is everyone goes on the toilet every day and they're probably using their phone, not to sound crass. But when people say to me, oh, I'm busy, it's like, well, weren't you in the toilet 15 minutes on your phone earlier? Yes. So not that I'm tracking people on that, but it's a crude example, but I just don't believe this whole busy excuse. I think of things on and they get forgetful and life gets in the way. But never say to me that you're busy, because you're not. You have a lot of things going on in your life, like we all do. But and I did a video on this, so which I've posted a day or two ago, being busy. But anyway, and step 5, which I think is the most important part, and people are a little bit afraid about this kind of stuff, a little bit cautious about talking about this, is money. So this is where most people get a bit shy. I did a video again on this the other day about talking about money. I think there's situations where, because if I was to do a part 2 to that video, my point in the video was, if someone walks into my apartment and says, "How much is your apartment?" That is really rude. But if I'm a company who's looking to do marketing in China and say, "Okay, what's your budget? You know, what's your range?" I think that's more than a adequate or reasonable question to ask. So that is the big question. What is your budget? How much money are we dealing with here? You know, and how do I get paid? How do you get paid? You know, what are we looking at? Is it retainer? Is it commission? I hate it personally when people just approach me with commission deals. I think that if money gets exchanged, it's always better to get money up front, right? Or money and commission. But you know, what are we looking at? Is it equity? Is it and be upfront? You know, be upfront from the start. Don't have this whole spiel and this conversation where we go back and forth about your requirements and what you're looking for, and then at the end you say, "We only do commission deal." Be upfront from the start what you're looking for. So, because if you skip this, then you're not serious. You're not serious. So, yeah, that's a good point. You know, I'll lose interest as well if stuff is vague. That's a really good point. Linda's just made that point. If messages are vague and they're not clear, then you're just going to lose interest in what's happening. So serious business talks about money early. They're very upfront with their money early. They don't have all this conversation back and forth and then at the end go, "Oh, by the way, we don't have a budget." That's just a ridiculous way of doing business. So this 5-step structure that I've just told you guys, if you missed it, just go back and watch this live stream again, because it will get saved, this live stream. Actually, Xiaohongshu, I'm not so sure, but yeah, you can go back on WeChat and TikTok and YouTube and watch this again. So this 5-step structure will allow you to put comes to pitching or doing deal referrals. I don't know if I class myself in the top %, but I'm good. I'm good at, you know, people come to me with pain or have a person or a company that I can connect them with. So I'd say I'm pretty good. Maybe I'm just being modest, but I think if someone comes to me with some sort of issue or a pain point, I'm able to find a solution to it and connect them with the right people. So your mindset shift is really important here, because as I stated earlier, opportunities are not about excitement. It's about leverage. So ask yourself, is this really benefiting the other person and me? If it's just one direction, then this is not working. Okay. Is there real demand in what you're introducing? Is the execution realistic? Are you actually, do you think there's a high probability this might get over the line? So, have you validated, have you qualified what you're introducing or referring on to someone? That's so important. If not, you're just pitching an idea or you're pitching an opportunity that doesn't lead anywhere, and that's not an opportunity at all. So I get people approach me sometimes say, "Oh, it's a friend," or "I'm doing someone a favor." Great, but you're not doing me a favor right now, because I'm going to be doing you a lot of favors. You're not doing yourself any favors. So here's the challenge for everyone out there, anyone watching this, listening to this, because quite a few. WeChat, we've got over 100 people in here right now. Xiaohongshu, we have over 50 people. Fantastic. TikTok still needs a bit of work. I've only got about 10, 15 people, but YouTube is growing as well. think about this. When you approach me or pitch me or have an idea, come to me firstly with a brief, very clear. It could just be a paragraph, but ideally as much information as possible, but ideally a one pager. Write down, what is it? 1, what is it? 2, why? 3, the outcome. 4, requirements. And most importantly, 5, the budget. Don't always come to me saying, what's the price? Or you quote me. It's like, well, how long is a piece of string? I need to know what your requirements are first before I can quote. I don't just have a set price for things. Every client I work with is different. So, and if you can't write that clearly, then you have to refine it before sending it. I know China and business nowadays is about speed, but you've also got to be very upfront and think about people's time, because wasting people's time is one of the biggest killers, I'd say, of conversations. And this one habit alone will change the way you approach things with business, careers, things like that. Because clarity does attract serious people, if you think about it. Vagueness only attracts silence. So if you want feedback, yeah, just send me. I'd first say send me an opportunity. So you know someone that's looking for something. I had a really good example today of a guy that was speaking to one of my clients last year. So I signed this client recently, and he met them last year. And I said to the guy, well, why didn't you introduce me at the time? Like, I do China business. This person was looking at China. So why didn't, and he just said, see the 2 and 2 together. I was like, because you didn't ask the question. So you've got to ask questions to people. You've got to actually ask them, okay, see, if someone came to me and was asking me about property or asking me, I've got people in my head that I can think, I don't personally do property, but I know people that do property. So I would straight away think in my head, I'd be running off all the names. If I can't think about it in my brain, I'd make a list, right? So I think it's really clear that tell people straight up what you're looking for, what's the requirements, what's your budget. If you can only give a commission deal to someone, tell them straight away. Don't have a conversation. I don't really do commission deals. I'm not really the only time I would really do a commission deal would have to be a certain kind of deal, but don't approach me with commission deals, right? I pitch people with commission deals, not the other way around. And also, I think the best way to ever get any kind of relationship going, I'm not talking about the services I offer. If I'm offering marketing or PR or that's all service fee, but it's just give me 2 or 3 leads. Like 2 or 3 leads that you think, oh, these are pretty qualified, and here you go. Because that's the kind of stuff that I do. If I work with a company, I try and get 2 or 3 leads going first because then it shows that I can deliver. It shows that I'm reliable, that I can refer stuff on. Obviously, there comes a point where you can't just work for free forever. But offer as much value up front for free first, and make sure you do your research into people. I get lots of people approaching me, like in this live stream. They'll say, what do you do? Well, go back and look at my content. I talk about what I do all day long. If I want to work with someone, I do as much research as possible. I look into their accounts, their social media, their LinkedIn, their websites. I treat it like an exam. I study them like I'm about to take a major exam. I make sure I'm prepared, I'm ready to speak to that person before I approach them with an idea, because it just shows that you're not a serious person if you haven't done enough research. And there's so much AI out there now that there's no excuses now to just have a look on AI and search for stuff. So I wanted to tell you guys straight. I wanted to be a very direct. I don't think it's been that serious what I've been talking about, but if you found this useful, do drop me a message, because I wish someone had told me this 10 years ago. I wish someone had just told me, qualify as much as you can. Make sure when you approach someone, don't waste their time, be very upfront. And if you found it useful, maybe share it with someone that has approached you with a terrible approach, or not terrible, but someone that needs work, like someone that needs improvement on the way that they approach things. So, but thanks so much, guys. I've actually got to go to an event now. I'm going to my old university, the University of Southampton. And yes, I can read Chinese. I'm going to an alumni event. I've finally been invited. I've only been in China for 10 years, but University of Southampton's invited me to a special dinner, special alumni event. So I'll be going to see my old uni. But I'm going to be doing the same thing. When I meet people, I'm going to be connecting the dots. Okay, you do this, you do that. How can I connect you? That's kind of my mentality. I go to these events to have fun, but I'm a connector. I think about how I can connect people, which is the way that you should approach. Don't just think about me. What value can I get? You got to think about how you can offer value to people up front first. Give them 2 or 3 things, or give them 1 or 2 things, whatever you can, as much as possible. That's why I'm dressed up. That's why I'm looking quite dapper tonight, because I'm off to this Southampton University event here in Shanghai. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm going to be connecting with people, seeing what people that went to the university. I think they've brought some people over from the uni. So I think I'm the only British Southampton University alumni in China. I think I am. Well, at least the only one that's doing live streaming right now, right? I think I'm the only one. I must be. Not to brag, of course, but it's just to kind of show what I did after I went to that university. I think I am. I think I must be. Maybe there are some British out there, but anyway, guys, I hope you found that useful. If you do have opportunities, be very upfront and direct if you approach me, because that's the way I do things. I'm very upfront. And I hope you found this useful. If you would like to join my WeChat groups, 我现在我说中文，我有自己的粉丝群，在小红书和微信群。如果你们感兴趣加入我的微信群、小红书群，你可以私信我，然后会发给你二维码，然后你可以加入我的粉丝群。非常感谢你们的支持。Thank you so much for your support, guys. I'll hopefully be uploading a new video as well tonight. I've got an old video about money, how to approach people about money. For example, if you came to my apartment, if you really wanted to know the price of it, how would you ask? Instead of just saying, 多少钱? How much is this? How would you actually do it in a polite way to potentially get the answer from me? That's what I'll be talking about tonight in my video that I'll be posting. I did post a video yesterday about how to approach, if you want to find out the price of something when it comes to someone's salary or how to go about that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this and found it useful. If you don't understand what I'm saying, go back and rewatch it. A lot of people just enter and say, what are you talking about? Thank you so much for the support. Hope you have a wonderful evening ahead. Check out my videos. Dianzan, Drangfa Pinglun. And happy Lunar Festival. Lantern, not Lunar. It's a Happy Lantern Festival today. Finally, like the final day of Chinese New Year. So I'm not an English teacher, to be clear. Not an English teacher. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening ahead. Take care. Bye-bye. 再见. Bye-bye.